His hand grazed mine as we reached for the box. A spark, sharp and wrong, lit up the air. He pulled back just long enough for me to feel it, to know it wasn't an accident, even when I glanced at him. Nick stood still, eyes steady. The silence between us thickened, heavy with what we didn't say. I told myself it meant nothing and followed him into the back room. The garage was too warm for this late in the day. Afternoon light spilled through the open door, casting gold streaks on the concrete as I leaned into the back seat of the car. The heat clung to me, heavy, like a warning I ignored. My shirt stuck to my skin, warmer than it should have been. I bent for another box, gripping the cardboard edge, pulling it free. "You good with that?" His voice came from behind. Calm, easy, too damn easy. I straightened too fast, the box's edge catching my hip. Pain flared stilly, but it didn't dull the pull. He stepped closer, wearing gray sweatpants, a plain white shirt hugging his arms, barefoot. That calm of his, that draw-you-in calm, made you look twice. "Got it," I said, adjusting my grip. He moved to help, reaching for the other side. Our hands met on the box, his fingers brushing mine at the corner. The touch lingered, deliberate, dangerous. He paused for a second, then let go. I glanced at him. He was staring at the box. "Got it," he echoed, voice unchanged. His hand moved away. I didn't speak. I shifted my grip so he could take it. He turned toward the house, moving light, the box balanced between his arms like it weighed nothing. I followed, keeping pace. The sun had set, and the air felt heavier, like it knew what was coming. I realized I'd left the trunk open, but I didn't go back. I just watched him carry the box inside. He passed through the front door, his shoulder brushing the frame as he angled the box in. I followed through the narrow hallway, waiting as he moved ahead. The tight space pressed us closer than it should have. He set the box against the wall and turned to face me. Our eyes locked for a moment. His gaze hit me like a shot, steady, unyielding. I smiled quick and looked away. "Need help with the rest?" he asked. I could have said no. I started to... "I'm fine," I said, but I didn't move. The door stayed shut behind me, and I didn't open it. He didn't ask again. He turned back toward the driveway. I followed. We met at the car. This time, our hands touched before the box. Not an accident, not rushed, a slow burn. His thumb grazed mine, wrapping around the handle. His skin was too warm, too real. We carried the box together, closer now. His arm brushed mine in the hallway. The box felt heavier, not from weight, but from how close our hips were. The second box hit the floor beside the first. He didn't move. I turned my head, just enough to catch him in the corner of my eye. His hand stayed near mine, fingers hovering where they'd let go. "You didn't pull back," I said, voice barely above a breath. "Neither did you," he said. I looked at my hand. His thumb moved again. A slight press, a dare. I exhaled, not rushed, not nervous, just letting go of something I hadn't known I was holding. I didn't step back. His hand stayed close as I turned slightly, careful not to bump him. I didn't move away, I couldn't. I shifted just enough to feel him there. The quiet rhythm we'd built held us, dangerous and alive. The air felt warmer, not just the hallway, but the space between us. Close, silent, charged. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. The silence had shifted, not polite anymore, not uncertain. It was sure, like we both knew what wasn't said. He stepped closer, just enough for our shoulders to nearly touch. The air shifted, the wooden floor creaking under us like a confession. He didn't reach for anything. He didn't back off. I stayed put. His arm dropped slowly, brushing my side, not quite touching, not quite still. I felt it anyway, the weight of being seen. I laid my hand on his light and left it there. The silence held, unbroken, electric. His fingers didn't move. Mine didn't either. We stood there, side by side, no rush. I could feel every breath, the space between us shrinking, but neither of us moved. Then I shifted. My fingers tightened. Not hard, just sure. He didn't pull back. I stepped closer. Just enough. I didn't know what I'd say. I didn't try. I looked up, and his eyes didn't waver. They locked me in, raw, unapologetic. I leaned close enough to read his face. His breath matched mine, lighter, unsteady. He leaned in too. No rush, no doubt, just close. I turned my head, just enough to meet the moment on purpose. He stopped short of me, not touching, not speaking, but close enough to make the next move ours. I stayed with him in that silence. My pulse pounded, my thoughts sharp, alive. In the quiet between hesitation and certainty, I knew I'd been lying to myself. I didn't want distance, I wanted this. His lips met mine. Sure now. No hesitation. The kiss burned. Deep. Forbidden. His hand slid to my waist, guiding me until my back hit the hallway wall. Steady. Deliberate. I breathed him in, my fingers gripping his shirt, the fabric warm from how close we stood. His hand rested near my head, the other by my side. Calm. Intentional. The space between us dissolved, our bodies close enough to feel the silent pressure building. My stomach twisted, but I didn't waver. I leaned closer. My hand slid under his shirt, savoring the heat of his skin. His back tensed under my touch, shifting as I moved. I pulled the fabric up, and he stepped back to breathe, just enough for me to lift it over his head. The shirt hit the floor, and our eyes locked again. No escape. He moved toward me, his fingers brushing the hem of my top, tracing the edge. I let him lift it, slow, easy, my arms rising with his motion. Neither of us spoke. His eyes held mine, unyielding. We froze in that moment, nothing but breath between us. Then he leaned in. His lips grazed my shoulder, then the curve of my collarbone. The heat of it stopped me cold, every inch of me awake. I tilted my head, my hand in his hair, holding him there as he breathed, steady, close. His hand traced my spine, down to my waist, pausing near my ribs. He didn't rush. He was holding back, savoring it, like it mattered. Then he stepped back, just enough to take my hand. He didn't speak. I didn't need him to. We moved down the hallway toward the stairs. No thought, just focus, just him. He sat on the bottom step, feet on the floor, easy. I settled beside him, our hips brushing, knees touching lightly. The cool wood under me fought the heat between us. My hand found his, and his other hand rested behind my shoulder. We stayed there, steady, no rush, just aware. His head tilted until his temple touched mine. Our breath slowed, calm, together. My fingers tightened on his as I leaned closer, not urged, but chosen. He kissed my shoulder, light, present. Then my collarbone, each kiss careful, measured. My hand rested on his neck, holding him there. I didn't pull him closer. I kept him with me. His breath hitched for a moment as I stayed close, lost in the silence we'd chosen. His arm circled my back, secure, not pressing, just holding. I exhaled slow, soft, long. His jaw moved under my hand, steady, restrained. We stayed like that. No words, no movement, no need. I pressed my forehead to his, eyes closed. I wasn't overwhelmed, wasn't shaking just there. My hand stayed on his shoulder, not for balance, but to stay with him. The stair rail was solid under my palm. My other hand rested on him, quiet, calm. Even in the silence, I was close, my breath steady, settled. He held me through it, and neither of us let go. Be honest. Would you want to be there? What would you do? Let me know in the comments. I'll read them. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching.